What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I will be doing a technical analysis breakdown for strategy with the ticker symbol MSTR. I will first be going over what I see in the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please trade at your own risk. So my goal for today is to show you guys what the market participants are doing and where price is most likely headed next. So before we begin, just want everyone to take a deep breath. I know we've been dropping quite a bit for the last couple of days, and we're basically right back at the 240 level, but we don't want to trigger your flight response. Just relax, take a deep breath, and let's look at the chart the most objective way possible without any biases, as much as possible. And then let's go over the main question to ask is this a correction still in a long-term bull market, or is this the end of the bull market and have we began the or have we are in the middle of a bear market? So which one is it? Is this the end of a correction or coming to an end near the end of a correction and a uptrend, or is this have we already seen the top and the middle of basically the bear market? So let's go over the technical, see what we can find. Well, it looks like price made two large legs down. Well, this was a large leg right here, one leg down right here. And we clone this over. This was the second leg. We did see a nice bounce off of this level. So this could have been the bottom, but unfortunately, price is coming back at that level once again at the 243 level. So let's go and mark that right now. Right here at the low 240 level was a potential area for a reversal, but that did not take place. Why? Because it looks like there's still a downward bias to the stock. So you see that price was still being rejected from this downward sloping trend line, and price came back up to this breakout zone right over here at that 316 level, and it failed to break out higher, and then price continued to drop down lower. So there was a lot of resistance here. We needed to see strong buying, and we did not see strong buying. Now price is back at support, so maybe this is going to be a double bottom for price to bounce off of. Probably not. Normally, if price was going to move up higher, should have done it already. I think there's still potential for a little bit more downside for MSTR. So where can it go next? Well, probably the lower 200s would be the next level. This is right at this peak right here. This is right here at the $200 level, this prior breakout. So a lot of times price likes to come back to these breakout zones, and that's right around $200. So low $200 could be the next target. I don't want to see it go too much lower than that. Then it starts looking more like a top has been put into place, as I've been saying for a while now. This is all still relatively, a normal correction for this type of volatile stock. It's only been about from high to low. It's about a 55% drop so far. The previous drop right back over here from March to about April of 2024, that was about a 50% drop as well. So this is about a 48% drop. So again, these 48, 50, 55 drops are pretty common for MicroStrategy. So we're still in the range for this just to be a correction. But if it goes a little bit lower, that's fine as well. Maybe one last capitulation drop and then a reversal. We'll have to see how that plays out. I was expecting March to be like sort of a bullish month so far, but right now it's off to a bad start. So again, things are taking longer to progress. Again, you have to keep an eye on that. Things are definitely taking longer to progress, even for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely, it needs to rally. It needs to rally very soon, or that 4-year cycle is not going to be looking like a 4-year cycle any longer. I'm gonna give it to about late March, early April is when we should seeing very strong aggressive buying, because it's almost very behind schedule already. So again, MicroStrategy will also be following the same type of pattern where it needs to rally very soon as well. I'm going to give it towards the end of March, early April. And if we don't see that as well, and price is still dropping down lower, then this thing is potentially out of some gas. It's out of steam, and it doesn't look good anymore. It looks more like a bear market to me. But as right now, I still say it's still within the realm of being a bull market, and this looks to me just a very large correction taking place. And MicroStrategy is not the only one dropping pretty bad in the market. Tesla as well. Several other big name stocks as well are dropping harshly. Even the Spider, S&P 500 is dropping a lot. QQQ is dropping a lot. So everything is basically dropping a lot. So this is not just like a MicroStrategy thing or just a Bitcoin thing. Everything is basically dropping. Obviously, you can find some things outside of the rule, some exceptions, but most of the stocks are dropping. Now let's take a look at the log scale. That's very important to look at as well. See if the long-term chart is still looking bullish. Go to the weekly chart. clear the drawings. And again, the trend still looks good to me. You can see that we're still above these bullish trend lines. We got this angle of attack right here, and then price went inside of a steeper one. We're right at that trend line. So if we break the second angle, I wouldn't say it's game over, but it's not a good sign, right? You want to see it continue to move up higher and higher. And this is already adjusted the most you can go. If you go any lower, then you're kind of off of the candle. So again, this shouldn't go that much lower. We can spike down and then briefly recover the trend line. We can spike down briefly and then recover the trend line. That's not a big deal, but you do not want to see this drag on that much longer. Let's take a look at the weekly charts. Measure move target. Let me measure this leg right here. One leg down right here. Second leg down right about here. And this takes you right to about 216, 215 level. So that would be two large legs on a weekly chart. Generally, that can lead to a very nice bottom. So this is right around 215, 216 level. We saw two major legs down as well, right back over here in the past. Let me show you guys that right now. So this was all, let me use the drawing tool. This is all one large leg right over here. Price made a correction up, and then we saw a second large drop, and then that led to the massive rally. So again, these complex corrections are pretty common. This prior complex correction was much stronger. This one is looking a little bit weak. So we could reach that target towards the downside of the 215, 216 level, or we don't reach it at all. Sometimes we don't reach these targets. But as right now, with the way things are looking, there might be a little bit more downside left in the market. But again, after that, I mean, we should not go that much lower, or things are not looking good for MicroStrategy. So that's basically all I wanted to say for MicroStrategy on the daily weekly chart. Has anything really fundamentally changed about the company? Not necessarily. I don't see anything different about the company than what it was back over here just a few months ago, several months ago, back here in November. If anything, it's a much stronger company. They have one of the strongest balance sheets of all the companies on a public exchange in the market. So one of the best balance sheets. They have Bitcoin, and we know Bitcoin is already doing pretty good. Right now, it's, the short term not doing so well, but over the long term, it will continue to go up in dollar terms, quotation marks, because obviously the dollar will continue to lose value over time. Has your purchasing power increased over the last couple of years, or the last 5 years, or the last 10 years, or the last 20 years? No, it's guaranteed to go down forever in the future. Your purchasing power will continue to go down forever in the future. If you hold dollars, your purchasing power is basically guaranteed. Again, guaranteed, obviously, if it stays decentralized and secure, if you hold Bitcoin, because it's a new monetary system that continues to reprice everything in the world because it's an honest ledger, and that's just how money should be. It has a cap supply. It's not manipulated by any central exchange. It's just a free market money. So again, I mean, I believe long term this will do exceptionally well. Just in the short term, a lot of things are hurting. There's a potential for a little bit more downside to the lower 200 level, 215 to 216, possibly the 200 level, 202. If it goes any more than that, I do not like that at all. I do not want to see it get below 180. That's not a good sign. If we get sub 200, that's not a good sign. Hate to say it, but yeah, it's not something you want to see. Because at that point, from the high to about, let's say 180, I mean, that's about like 60%, 67% drop. I mean, normally a trend is not supposed to drop that much and then continue higher, right? We're not supposed to drop 60, 70% and then move up higher. 50%, okay, yeah, we've done that before, about 45, 48%. But, and getting into the 70s, let's see if it's 20, yeah, 60%, it would be right around the lowest 213, 214, 215 level is the target. If we go into the more 60s, the high 60s, low 70s, I mean, that doesn't look good to me. But overall, still looking okay. It needs to recover very quickly. This could be the final drop. And then over the long term should do very well. So that's all I want to say for MicroStrategy. I think I covered basically everything I want to talk about. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. If I'm forgetting something, I'll probably try to bring it up in the next video. But overall, let's just see how this ends out. It looks like it's just a correction that's coming to an end. On the linear chart, the measure move target was met at the 240 level, but on the log scale, we have not reached the measure move target yet. This is all one leg right here. Second leg, right around that 213, 215, 216 level, whatever, is the next potential target. So if it goes any lower than that, things are throwing some red flags in the market. I would say 200 is probably like the lowest I want to see it go. Anything lower than that, not a good sign. But me personally, I like it to go lower so I can buy some more because I want to add to my position. And also, same thing for Bitcoin. The longer Bitcoin takes to make a high, that's better because now my capital gains long term are more favorable. So, MicroStrategy, I already bought it this year, but I'm probably not going to get that long term gains. But for Bitcoin, I will. But either way, still looking very positive in the future for MicroStrategy in the long term. They're going to continue to buy more Bitcoin, and then just be a more valuable company. So all I have for MicroStrategy and daily weekly charts is Vee Trades, and thank you for your time.